Hey everyone, we're here today to look at another mod for Creature from the Black Lagoon, and this is the Snackbar mod by Swinks. And also there's another part to this. There's another part of the mod which is made by Stumblor, and he did the actual lighting for the snack bar and the actual neon that's on the side over there of the snack bar. And what you're looking at here are the two different versions that I have. This is the newest version by Swinks. This is the version 5. This is the version 1 which I'm replacing. That's what I had originally, is this one. And the differences between are pretty big from what JD Swinks has actually done with this mod. If you look at the bottom here of this mod, the old one, you know, it's basically a plate and it has like holes in the bottom, and there's screws that actually fasten that plate onto the mod itself. This one is like magnetic now, so there's like magnets that kind of hold the plate to the bottom of this mod, and this plate screws into your actual game. There's a couple parts where you got to put some nuts on them, but then this part actually is a magnet that gives it just a little more, you know, like pressure, so it doesn't have to remove itself or slip off of the game when it's installed. So it's actually really nice. And you can see here the snack bar marquee is added to the top here. This was a dome light, and the original version of the mod had like this wiring that went to your back box, so that's where it got its power from to power up the mod. And this one, you get all your power and stuff like that from the lights or bulbs from the actual you know, like the light that's next to this mod. So you have a bulb that goes into, and it screws into the part, you know, where right next to the mod of where it would be installed. So you get your power from that. And then there's all this lighting. This is for the actual snack bar and stuff like that, this LED strip, which we're not going to be using because, again, like I said before, we're using a different kind of lighting for this. And let me get that for you. This is by Stumblor, and he was on Pinside, and that's where I saw this mod from. So basically how this works is that you have two LED strips that light up. So that's for the snack bar marquee, and this is for the actual neon lighting on the side over there. So there's a board that screws to the bottom of the game where these get power from. And that's this board right here. So this board, you screw this to the bottom of your play field, and these LED strips plug into this board, and that's how it gets its power, and you get your LED strips to light up for the mod. So we're going to install this now. We're going to go and put it in the game. I already removed everything, so it's ready to be installed. So we're going to go do that and take a look and see how the install goes and how it looks after it's installed. Stay tuned. So one thing we want to look at before we go ahead and do the install of the actual mod onto the game is that we just want to see like where these lighting strips go and how they go. So these two strips here for the Stumblor the mod, all this got to come out, all this lighting, so these wire ties got to get clipped out, and then these get pulled out, and then it gets replaced with all of these strips. So that's kind of how it works, the difference of, you know, using this lighting to what we're going to use with this. And this is like programmable to flash and have different colors and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing the different variants you could use for the colors and stuff to make the mod actually light up. So again, the small strip goes to the snack bar, which we're going to have to remove with this Allen bolt right here. And that comes off, and then this got to get fed through that, and that gets stuck to the inside of the snack bar. I think they use wire ties or something to keep the lighting down. And then again, this goes to this actual neon lighting on the side of the snack bar on the inside. It has to get fed through these holes kind of, and that's how it all works. So again, this lighting all has to come out, so we're going to do that now. So again, you got to snip all these wire ties and pull everything out. Okay, so we're back again. I wired this up now with the Stumblor mod with the lighting and stuff like that. So basically, there's a little set screw up here on the top. The snack bar comes out. You use a smaller LED strip. There's a groove inside the snack bar that the LED strip goes into, and then you would feed the wire through the bottom like that. That comes out the underside. So also for the neon, the lighting goes around this kind of the bend in that mod, and then you use a tie over here to go around. There's a hole at the bottom. It goes around that. Don't cover your LEDs up with it. Make sure it's kind of in the middle of the two so you don't block an LED, and then the wire kind of feeds off the side like that. So that's kind of how you wire it. It's not that hard to do. You need to cut out the other wiring that was installed in here previously. And then if you look at the board, this is the board, and then the different things connect to this board. So if you look at this, what comes with the kit from Swinks, he has this little light here. That goes into the light socket that's on the side of the mod. Then there's this extender cable that comes with this board that plugs into that. So the power comes from the light that goes into the socket. This connector goes into the little red connector here that's on the board once it's mounted on the bottom side of the game. And then again, if we look at our mod, let me bring that back here. So if you look at the board, there's a green connector and a white connector. Green at the bottom, white on top, right next to the red connector that gets power. So if you look at your mod here, the Stumblor mod, he colored it green. That goes to the green connector at the bottom of that board. Bottom. And there's a white connector that goes to the white connector at the top next to the red. So that's kind of how you wire this up. So it gets its power from the red, the white, and the green. Get power, you know, from these two wires, and the board works. And also too, there's dip switches on here too that change the colors and the scheme of the different, let me turn this around, that change the colors and the patterns of the different things in the mod, of how that lights, you know, the LEDs light up and what colors they are. It's in the manual. We'll go over it briefly at the end, but each of these banks do, like, I believe, like, this bank does like the colors, and then this does the patterns or something like that. But we'll take a look once we put it in the game and fire everything up. So stay tuned for that. We're going to do the install, and the way that it goes is, again, this light goes into the connector next to the mod, and then the wire feeds through the bottom of the hole next in the playfield in the game, and then these wires feed through the holes, you know, the two from the mod, and then plug into this board that you mount to the game and the bottom side. And that's kind of how it works. But we have to install this plate first, which is this, and that's what the mod kind of mounts onto. So we're going to go do that now. Let's mount this to the game itself, then run all the wires underneath, and then fire it up and see how it looks. Okay, so here we are looking at the play field on top, and the plate where this mod mounts into, you have three kind of holes or screws you got to mount this on. Here's the first one. That goes at the bottom of this mount, which is, if you're looking at the mount, it's at the very bottom where my thumb is. That's where that one would go. And then the second one is here by the rubber, and the third one is this one over here by the on this plastic piece here where the rubber mounts onto. And then also the last piece, there's a screw that goes onto here, and I believe you got to put a washer on that, and that screws down into the film part on the plate at the very end over there, right here, the film part. So that's where that screws into. So those are the three places you have to mount that onto. So it kind of goes something like this, if I could do this with one hand, because I'm holding the camera right now. But you got to kind of tuck it under the plastic, kind of like that. And then this goes kind of on the side. something like that. And then the screw hole goes there. There's a nut that goes on these two, nut, and then a nut on that one too. So this is how it mounts in, and then the pieces mounts on the very top of this magnetically, and that's how it sticks down onto that as well. I took my ramp off. You can see it's pretty loose. There's 2 or 3 screws I had to take out on some posts. Post here, there's a post in the middle here, I believe, where my finger is. I took those screws off so it gives me more room to kind of work on this. And then right here is where the light goes to give power to the Stumblor board right here. So the wires feed into this hole next to it right here. That's where the holes drop into and go to the bottom of the playfield and give power to the board. So let's take a look at that next. I'm going to mount this together. Again, I believe the nuts go on these metal plates, and then there's a washer, and then the screw goes into this. So let me mount that, and then we'll get back to installing the board to the bottom of the game. All right, there's a change of like what I was doing here. I was saying the washer goes over here. I believe the washer goes in here in the front. So if you're looking at it, there's a screw here, there's a screw back here, and there's a screw here, or a nut, I should say, and a screw here. Well, the washer goes under the nut at the front here by the front of the ramp. So that's where that washer goes. Because I think if you don't use it, it doesn't bite or something like that. So that's where the washer goes right here. All right, so let's. So also what I did was too, I put the light in. I ran the wires down through that hole like we showed in the last part of this video, and now I'm going to put the actual mod on top here, and then run the wires down through that hole as well. Okay, so here we are under the playfield, and if you look, we screwed the board into the bottom of the playfield and wired it. So if I zoom in a little bit here, you could kind of see how it's wired. You know, the wires are in the top right corner over there. That's from the top of the playfield where the wires got fed from. And there's dip switches to the left of that. And the top switches, I believe, do the neon on the actual snack bar. And then the bottom does the patterns for the actual snack bar, the sign, the different colors, and the way that it kind of moves and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I mounted it. That's what it shows in the book of where to mount it to. So there's 4 screws and 4 like standoffs that go into the playfield. Just screw it in the bottom of the playfield, and that's really it. And everything gets wired into that. So let's take a look at the mod in action and just see how it works and you know, how everything goes with the mod, with the gameplay. Okay, so here's the mod lit up. It's in a mode, I believe, where it just kind of randomizes, so you get all the different features of the spelling of the letters. It's hard because the ramp is in a way. There's really no great angle to kind of get this at with a camera, but you could see the neon lights lit up here at the bottom. You could see that, again, the snack bar sign lit up, and you could change the colors of that snack bar sign to different things. Same with the neon. The different colors are red, neon green, ice blue, denim blue, cool white, purple, and pink. And you could do that for either the neon in the snack bar itself or the snack bar sign that's lit up. So it's pretty cool. It works really well with the flickering letters and stuff like that. The install is pretty easy. Again, it takes me forever because I got to film these things while I'm doing it, and you know, just fix things along the way and stuff like that. So it takes me a lot longer to do this, but this mod should take you, no joke, a half an hour, if that, to install. So it's actually pretty straightforward. So again, the mod is great. Swinks JD did a great job with from version 1 to 5. The fit and the finish is really nice. The magnets are so easy to install. You don't have to screw in the screws in the top and all that. It just like locks in with a magnet, which is really nice. And yeah, he made a lot of improvements from version 1 to 5. And the snack bar on top is really cool. And everything else to it is really great as well. Just like I said, the whole design is really nice. It's really thick. It's not going to break. It'll last probably longer than you will. And the other mod, the Stumblor mod with the lettering and all that, and the lighting is really awesome too. and it really adds to the game. So I'm going to leave it like this, just the way it is for now. Maybe I'll play with it later with the different dip switches and stuff like that and see the different colors and lighting and all that. But I like just the randomness of the snack bar lighting up and the way that it does what it does, you know, as it's moving. So nice job on both of their parties. It's nice that they kind of combined their two mods together to make this one mod. So that's the install video. And I believe this is the last run for JD with this mod. I don't believe he's making any more of these. So version 5 is it, and I kind of was was lucky enough to get on the list and got this mod, and I thank him for making this mod. It's really nice. So again, thank you for watching my videos. Really appreciate it. You can see all my videos at www.pinballsupernova.com. That's my website, and I have all my links to my blog posts, my Facebook, my YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Everything is there for the news and the different videos that I create. So thanks again, really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon.